So this question wants us to fill in a table of values for this quadratic function. Quadratic because the power of x is squared, it's power 2. So we have to fill in our values by substitution. So when x is equal to -1, then the y value can be found by doing -1 squared, take away 4 lots of -1, add the 2. -1 squared is +1, 4 lots of -1 is -4. But we're taking it away, so we end up adding 4, and then we're adding 2. So we end up with an answer of 7 here. The confidence thing, remember, is that when you've got a quadratic, we recognise that we're going to end up drawing a graph that should have a curve to it. The curve could be anywhere, of course, depends on the quadratic function, could even be upside down, but it's going to be a curve of some kind, and therefore, because the quadratics produce this kind of U shape, then there's a line of symmetry. So a confidence thing is we've got 7 here, and also we can see in the table 7 again, -1, -1. So there's some form of symmetry going on, which we'd expect for this type of graph. So it gives you confidence that you've probably got it right. When we're using 2 here, then we've got 2 squared, which is 4. 4 lots of 2 is 8. 4 take away 8 is -4. -4 plus 2 is -2. When we're using 4, 4 squared is 16, 4 fours are 16, so 16 take away 16 is 0, add on 2. Again, we've got that symmetry property going on, so we've got a 2 there and a 2 there, so it gives us confidence that we're probably okay. So once we've got our table filled in, then we can then plot the values because it wants us to draw the graph. So these give us coordinates, so this one gave us a coordinate of -1, 7, this one gives us a coordinate of 0, 2, and so forth. Remember, the first value in a coordinate is always the x coordinate, and the second value is always the y coordinate. So -1, 7, 0, 2, 1, -1, 2, -2, 3, -1, 4, 2, and 5, 7. And again, because we expect this to be a U shape, then we need to be careful that we draw the best U we can through these points. Now remember, it should be a U, so don't do straight lines with rulers and V it and so forth. It should be that curve at the bottom. So it's really important with quadratics that you do that. Okay, so plotting a quadratic graph, working out the coordinates, recognising the symmetry properties as a check, and then plotting the points, and then doing what the question wanted, drawing the actual graph. So an example of how to create the coordinates and plot a quadratic graph.